you are up, so you want to give your name, rank, and serial number, and where you went. And we've got several teams here that are going to give testimonies, so just keep it nice and short, sweet. Come on, everybody come up.
You said this switch when I go off, is it good? Yeah. Hey, I'm Curtis. So this was my second mission in Virginia, and this year I went to Switzerland. So it's obviously kind of different. Definitely a lot of people ask me, so what exactly do they need help with in Switzerland? But it's a big question. So actually, I was there for 10 days, and we stayed in a place that was called the Don Camillo Center. And it's like a Christian commune, so that was kind of interesting. There's just a community of Christians who live together, and just they all had one kind of bank account, and so it was kind of cool, interesting, anyways. So we were doing construction. That was the main purpose of the work there. So it was actually a pretty different learning experience for me this year. And one thing that stood out to me was their services. Actually, they came from, it was the Moravian church, so they do like 3 services a day, one at 6:30, one at 12:30, and one at 9:30. And so we usually only made the 12:30 one. And so that one was pretty interesting. They would all, there'd be about 20, 25 people, and they'd just read some Bible verses, and then they'd all sing. It was all a cappella. There was no instruments or anything. They all had really good voices somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but they did. And it was in German, so I couldn't understand it, obviously, but they were just praising God, and that was the whole point, was just to exalt God. And so then the second service that was interesting to me was they did a communion, actually, Sunday night. So it was at 9:30, and a bunch of people. That was much bigger. It was probably like 50 or 60 people, and it was different than anything I'd really experienced before, because for a few reasons. They had a communal cup for one thing, so they just passed it around, and also the pastor would come around with a loaf of bread, and everyone would just take a piece. And the whole time, every once in a while, whoever just felt led would just start singing a song, and everyone would just kind of join in. They all just knew them. They were all kind of like classic songs, and afterwards, the only kind of word I could think of to describe it was just reverent, and it was just very different, and it's just kind of powerful to me just to see kind of a different aspect, I guess, of God that I don't really think I don't think there's any better or worse way to worship God, as long as you're really genuinely worshiping God. But it was just a side that I hadn't really seen quite as much here. It was just really showed me like the majesty of God and how just worthy of praise He is. And one of our main purposes is just to glorify God, but we don't, we never take time out of every single day to just stop and do that. And so it's really cool to me to observe that.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Lacey.
And I'm Ryan Berube.
We went on the Manchester mission trip. So this trip, we were staying at Life Church in downtown Manchester, and I guess like the main aspects of this trip was to serve in ministries that are already going on in Manchester, and then kind of learn about the different things going on, like the drug crisis, the human trafficking, and things like that, because we don't really see a lot of that every day, at least in our lives, going to Christian school, it's kind of more of a sheltered environment, but so we kind of learned about that, and were able to help people. And I guess the main thing that I got out of this trip wasn't necessarily what we did for other people, although that was definitely a big part of it, but it was how our group grew together as we were working together and serving God. You could really see the change in the people in our group, and it's really cool.
So I didn't really know that this was going on today, so I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to completely wing it. So we went to a few places, like a place called 1269 Cafe, which is basically a homeless cafe where its focus is to make the homeless people feel that they are actual human beings, because a lot of people look down on them for some reason. But that was the place that I think affected me most, because, well, I don't really know why, but I just felt like I flourished there. Like, I could help my best, and they had a food pantry there, and music, which was actually our school worship team that played there. And we just served food, we talked to people, we helped set up their, what was it called, the giving room. I don't really know. It was basically a clothing room with, like, well, clothes, soap, and other necessities. And I actually, the thing that affected me most while I was there was this guy named Chris, I believe. Yeah, Chris. He wasn't actually at the cafe, but right next to the cafe there is a rehab. So he was actually this guy who was going to the bathroom, because the bathroom is right across the hall, and I guess they have to all go at once for some reason. But I just started talking to this guy, Chris, and he just talked to me for like, I don't know, 20-ish minutes while he waited. But he basically was just like telling me not to get anywhere near the stuff that he did, the drugs he did, the failing in school that he was doing. And he was just like, the most important thing in life, well, for you right now, should be school. That should be what your focus is, and you should go as far as you can in school and just do your best. That really affected me, and it kind of stuck with me quite a bit. But.
Rosa and all went to Hungary. We were going to a school called the Good Life School, Good News School, sorry. And we kind of expected it to be a Christian school, but it ended up being mainly teachers and staff that were Christians, and so it was exciting to be able to teach them more about God and Jesus, and just see their expression when we taught them.
Okay, so one thing that really touched me during this trip was actually the first full day we were there at the school. And me and my Bible teacher, we went into the 5th grade class and we shared our testimonies. We didn't really know about spirits, so we just shared our testimonies. And I shared mine, and part of my testimony is sharing struggles that I went through when I was in 5th grade, and struggles that I had in my faith, and walking away from God. And it was so cool that I just so happened to be in the 5th grade class. And there was one boy, his name is Dominic, and he said that, through translators, he was very touched by my story, and that he said that he was going through some similar struggles in his faith, where he's struggling with wanting to be with God still and stuff, and he was really touched by that, and I thought that was so good, and just Holy Spirit moment, you know. And after that, I got to pray for him, and then throughout the whole week, ever since then, we were really good friends, and we'd always hang out with each other between classes, and he'd always be excited to see me. But obviously there's a language barrier. Not all kids knew English. Some of them, we knew some kids who knew it really well. I thought some of them were American, but they weren't. Some of them knew some English, the others just knew none at all. And he was one of the kids who didn't know any English. And so if I had to say something, we'd have to have a translator, and I struggle with that sometimes because it's hard to, because you'd have to pause just to translate them, but it was hard for my thinking processes. But that was one of the other kids, 6th grade boys, said he was one kid who spoke really good English, and he was just amazed that even though we don't speak the same language, we are best friends, and we can hang out with each other and try to figure out what we're trying to say to each other. But that's just like so cool that even though we don't speak the same language, God can work through those barriers, and that we can become good friends and share the love of Christ through that. And that was just really good. Thank you.
So one thing that really touched me was we taught Bible and helped out with English lessons throughout the week that we were there. And what really touched my heart was how open the kids were to the gospel. A lot of them had come from broken families or broken homes, and we didn't know how they were going to accept the gospel, but they were so open to listening to what we had to say, and they really wanted to be with us. They loved having us around, but it was just, you could really see God working in that area, and we loved being with the kids, whether it was teaching Bible or English lessons, or just going to the park and playing soccer or going on the swings. But it was amazing to see God work in that way and build relationships. But I guess another thing that really God showed me was how He used all of us in all of our different ways. Each one of us, we all had different gifts. Like some of us were really, really good at talking to the kids. Some of us were good at just being silly or making jokes or whatever. But we all worked together really, really well, and God put the team together so perfectly that we grew closer to each other and closer to God through that whole experience. And I can tell the kids were touched by what we were teaching, but there's just something I thank God for, that they were so open to sharing the gospel while they were there. And I know I think all of us are praying for the kids that they would continue to be open to the gospel as they go to school and they are hearing it from their teachers. So just keep them in prayer as well. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Alyssa, and I'm in the same boat as Ryan. I'm just going to wing it. I didn't know I was doing this, so please put up with us. For my trip, we went down to the school in Attleboro, Massachusetts, and we just helped mentor a bunch of the kids there. And throughout the week, we could just see God working in so many ways. He brought our team really close together. We journaled with the 7th graders, and what that meant is that we would pick 1 or 2 journal papers, and we would just work with them, like writing letters to each other throughout the whole week, and we would mention them and just spend time with them. And for my 2, I saw him work really well with those 2 kids because they were having relationship problems with each other. One of them was extremely lonely, and then by the end, he brought the 2 of them together. And I can't talk about this mission trip without talking about those 2. And he talked about, he brought one of our seniors. He developed his leadership skills, and just be able to see that, it was really cool. But one thing that God really did, like for me personally, which I don't really talk about this a lot, because I'm super shy, and like right now I'm shaking. I don't like being up in front of people. I don't like being in new environments. I don't like, no. So I went down with a new environment with a lot of kids from the school I didn't really know, so I was like, oh, this is great. Because I was sitting down and we were about to start the worship team on Monday. Now, I wasn't really part of it, and a couple of the kids weren't as well, but they had this cute little song where you had to like dance motions to it. I didn't know the song, but one of the girls who had graduated, but she came to the trip anyway, her name was, I think it was Jenna, but she told me, she's like, hey, you are going to go up there and you're going to do the motions with us. And I was like, no, I'm all set, thanks. I'm good. No, I don't really know the song yet. She's like, no, you're going up there. And I was like, oh, okay then. And just that was the first of many instances where God really pushed me out of my comfort zone and where I had to go up and talk in front of a lot of people or do those little dance motions and stuff in front of the kids. But I don't know, throughout that, God really helped push me out of my comfort zone, not that